Hi, and welcome to another episode of A Spinner's World. My name is Ashley, otherwise known as Spun Too Tight with the number 2 on the internet. I am mostly on Ravelry and Instagram, so if you are looking for me, please try one of those two places. Fun thing, I actually use Hipcast to, broadcast my podcast, so if you were concerned about it disappearing or being a pain again, it'll be fine. And the nice thing about Hipcast is this past month or so, they have actually upped my upload. I used to be limited to 256, maybe 264. I think it's 264 megabytes. 256 is a multiple of 4, 264 is a multiple of 2, and they go by binary terms, so it's 264. But it used to be 264. Now, it's like 1004. No. It's something around 1,000, which is great because that is the quality that my blip episodes used to go up as. So, if you watch this podcast through iTunes, you may notice some improved quality because I no longer have to compress my files down to teeny tiny things. And I realized this when I was trying to upload the last one. And in the past, I haven't had any problems because my episodes I've been able to compress down with Handbrake for the last 2. And they've gotten small enough that I could upload them no problem. Well, this time I couldn't get it condensed down, which is weird because it was actually pretty short compared to some of my other podcasts. So I was harassing Emily, Chain of Fools. And at one point she goes, "Do you realize the size file has gone up all of a sudden? And our files are bigger now?" I hadn't realized. So it's great you pointed it out because I spent 2 days trying to hand break the file to a much smaller size when I didn't have to. So, what have I been doing this week? Well, first, it is a Monday, and I said I was going to record every week. And then I realized that I don't have stuff to talk about every week. Right now, I am monogamously powering through the giant Afghan of Doom. So if I upshowed every week, you would see an episode of here's how far I've gotten on the blanket. And that's great and all, but that's not really stuff that's decent quality for every single week. Now, if Dory was here too, and she could tell you about her projects, I'm sure you would be much more interested. So you may see an episode every week to 2 weeks from us. If Dory's here and we can do every week, we'll do every week. If I have stuff to talk about, or even if I don't, I will record every 2 weeks at minimum. So, plan for that. I did promise I was going to start updating for February and the knit along, but I'll get to that after projects. Like I said, I've got one project. Last time I was here, you may be able to see it behind me, that was on the needles. As you can see, I still have not woven in any ends. It's like a dancing thing. My cat thinks it's a toy. It's fabulous. But I have been making progress, as always, on my color shift, I think it's called Color Shift Afghan. It is a Knit Picks pattern. If you go onto my Ravelry, you may find it. I can't remember if I even put it on there. And basically it started in this square and worked all the way out into this last one. And when you saw me last time, I think I was on this one. Yes, because I had 3.5 squares to finish. And I said, I will knit at least 1 square a day. I will finish this and I will have started the new one before I record next time. And I had planned to do that within a week. And I will tell you, it was done. I actually got the second one started. Just like I said I would. I'm trying to record before my husband gets home. So because I'm the only one home, my cats are going to be probably extra needy. So let's see how long it takes before they get bored and come find me to feed them. So square one is done. This is 1/4 of the blanket. I showed my husband and his response was, "Wow, it's like a big blanket." Yeah, hence why it was a wedding gift. It was a nice gift. It's now January. So we are 4 months past their wedding. Actually, oh my gosh, it's February. It is February 3rd. I am 4 full months past their wedding. So I finished this and I started the second part. And it started not in this corner. It started in this corner. And it's went all the way up this row here. So I had 5 squares done. I figured since I was recording later than I told you I would, it was good that I got a bunch of extra stuff done too. And then I cast it on this one. I am actually almost done with this square right here. And this has been my knitting for the last week. So this is what I have been working on. I still love the pattern, but it is still Garter, and Garter still gets old after a while. So that has been the project of choice. And I will say I'm getting much further. Now it's getting into blues. It's kind of fun. I'm actually using up the last of several of my skeins with this square, and then I'll be starting some new skeins with the next square. I also started some new skeins with this square. The blue and the white have come in for the first time. I love colors, so it's really fun to play with all the different colors. And it was funny, I think in a bout of craziness, I was stuck at home for last week with the snow and stuff that came in, we had school on Monday. So we had school on Monday. Tuesday was an early release day, so we were leaving school half a day early, so we had like 4 hours of school and kids were done at lunch. I snuck out a bit early because I have planning at the end of the day, and I asked the boss and she said, "Do you have anything after school?" And I go, "No," and she's like, "Get out of here." I'm glad I did because I got home as the freezing rain started. So I got out of that. And I have Otis here too. He's decided he's gonna rub up against my leg. But I got out of school when the freezing rain started, which was really great. Come on. He doesn't know if he wants to come up or not. So I left. Freezing rain hit by the time I got home, which is good because I didn't go out and get anything that my husband said. He's like, he texted me and goes, "You know, you should get some water and some batteries just in case." No, water and lighters. So that way we could, you know, matches to light things if need be. And I'm like, I don't get out of work till noon. It's gonna start at noon. It was raining all morning and it's supposed to be freezing at noon. It was gonna get bad and I needed to be home. So I was like, you know, water, I can go take a couple pictures, and we had tons of pictures in our house, and fill them with water. It'll be okay in case we lose like power for a few days. So I went and dug out all the lighters, I dug out the emergency radio, I dug out all the batteries, the flashlights, the candles. We never lost power. And unfortunately for me, my husband works for the electric company, one of the 3 in the area, and he was stuck at work all night. He was the unlucky person who was on call until 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. So he had to stay at work on Tuesday night in case anything happened. And like I said to him, he goes, "You know, I thought the first time I had to stay here during an emergency would be a hurricane, not a snowstorm." So he was at work all night. I got bored. So I got a ton of knitting done, and then I played a bunch of games on my phone. So I found all sorts of awesome new games to get addicted to. But that's pretty much my week. I have been working on that, and in the insanity of having lots of time to knit, I thought, wow, I can get like 3 of these squares done a day. And if I do 3 a day, I can finish this blanket in time for the end of our knit-along in February. Part of me still wants to try to do that, and part of me thinks that's insanity, because it's what? Let me pull up a calendar. I did the math days ago and determined that it could happen, but I've fallen behind since then. Let's see, it is the 3rd. There are 1, 2, 3 full weeks plus like 5 days. So if I can finish that square this week and finish the next square the next week and the 4th square the following week, told you he'd be up. If I can finish those 3 squares in the 3 weeks left, I could potentially spend the last few days weaving in ends. Oh, there's a border. It is doable, but I will be knitting nonstop. And I'm still gonna try it. I am still aiming to have this done by the end of February. It is probably crazy. It will probably not happen. In 2 weeks I will lose my mind and probably stop knitting on it, but I'm gonna try. Who needs a parrot when you have a shoulder cat? See the camera? Otis. Oh, do your cats chew on your hair too? It's like the bane of my existence. But that has been basically what's been happening here these last few weeks. So I have been doing some plotting because I did promise you that we'd be looking into new KAL topics starting in February. And what's going to happen is I am going to pick, I'm thinking we're going to do some sort of pattern this month, like an item. Shawls, hats, scarves, cowls, gloves, mittens, I'm not sure yet. It will be a small item. And there's going to be 4 or 5 different patterns you can choose from that will get you an added bonus. So if you knit one of those patterns, or if you knit one of the types of items, you get a bonus. If you knit anything in general, you still get points. The beauty of this knit along is it's going to go all year long. So if you knit a blanket in January and February, you still can be eligible for prizes towards the end. So I am going to run ideas and things by Dory. I'm going to text her. We spent all day together yesterday, but did I ask her about knit along topics? No. So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to bug her and see what she wants to do. My thought is that we're going to pick a pattern, but we'll give you the intimate details of that next week. She did tell me she was going to be able to record Sunday, so you're going to have that answer within a week. But if you want to, as soon as we decide what we're going to do, I'm going to open up a thread for chatter on the threads of the message board. So please feel free to check that out if you have any questions. I feel like this is the world's shortest podcast, but I have very little to talk about today. Oh, I got a new t-shirt, you want to see? It's my cat closet. I love Shirtwoot and some of the t-shirts that they have. I'm being smacked in the back by a cat if you couldn't see that. Are you going to be okay? Are you going to fall off? Is that going to be recorded? Okay, yeah, here, sit down, babe. Ready? It's a heart and a tooth. And the heart says, our love is dangerous. Yeah. And that's the sign that it's time for me to go. One other fun thing that happened this weekend, our security alarm battery is going low. So when it starts beeping, it beeps like every 3 hours. And it doesn't stop. It woke me up all night long. So I have to go fix the alarm so the battery doesn't beep constantly. The one we ordered to replace it is currently coming in. And the most frustrating part is it's a backup battery. It's plugged into the wall. It has power. We've tried to disable the beeping, but it doesn't stop. So that's all I've got for this week. If you are looking for us, please check out A Spinner's World on Ravelry. I am Spun2Tight, the number 2 on Instagram. It's the exact same name I have on Ravelry, so if you find me on Ravelry, feel free to just add both of those there. And the blog is at aspinnersworld.blogspot.com, and that is where I post YouTube links to the videos. I will tell you the quality is better if you upload through iTunes. But I know not everybody's into iTunes, so if you want to do the feed reader thing, you have the blog as well. It is very rare that I actually do show notes. One day I'll get back into them, I promise. Sometimes I get in a mood and I want to be all typey and stuff, and that's when you get show notes. Oh, and also, if you don't check out the Ravelry threads very often, someone posted a coupon code for her patterns in the chat thread the other day. I replied and said, hey, post this in the shop thread too. But we do have a shop thread in the group. If you want to post updates you have in your shop, shops you like, things you found, deals you found, you know, such. I'd prefer to keep deals to like fiber deals, or like you go to the Etsy store and it says, hey, there's a sale happening right now, you know, stuff like that. Or if you're a dyer, sharing what you have going on right now. Make sense? So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. I hope you'll have a great week, and I will see you again on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye.